Hi, I'm Andre Leroux. I'm the Managing Director of IKS Cultural Consulting, and I'm here with the Don of Jazz in Sicilia, Fabio Lannino. And he said I should say Tutto Montebello, something
Tutto
like
molto
that.
bello.
Tutto Montebello.
Yeah.
And on my left is my sidekick, Ellister from the Molen, the famous jazz trumpeter. Fabio, you love jazz in Sicily.
Yeah, we love jazz. I collaborate and cooperate with a jazz foundation called Orchestra Jazz Siciliana, the Brass Group Foundation, established actually in 1974. So next year is going to be 50 years of jazz programming, thanks to our founder, Ignacio Garcia. Ciao maestro. And what he has done together with some friends at the very beginning, in a cantina actually. They brought Charles Mingus, Chet Baker, all those great artists in a small cantina with 100 seats. But that was the very beginning of building an audience for jazz in Sicily. And from there, started to have public contribution, and more places were to organize concerts, beautiful historical buildings. And in this last 50 years, we've been able to build a real community of jazz lovers. That is what you have to do. And we have a school of jazz. We run, I'm the director of the Teatro Santa Cecilia. That is our house, where we can do jazz concerts almost every year, almost during the whole year, 8 months a year at least, with a regular season of concerts during the winter. And in the last 3 years, when we started this collaboration with the World Jazz Network and the Hemisphere Jazz Festival, we have started discovering Dutch artists, for example, like Trentje, Oysters, and Bernard van Rossum, and the Beats brothers, and Lucas Santana. And it has been a good way to start a new way to understand that the jazz musicians are not only from the US, if you want. There is so much love for jazz music all around the world. I've been really shocked to meet such great people like Mr. Ko, for example, from Thailand. He's such a great musician, such a great man. And Sylvester from Poland, they're great musicians. And her, how great she is when she plays. She's wonderful.
Let's not talk about me.
At the jam session.
Why not?
That jam session
because we want you in Palermo.
And I think, anyway, let's come back to you, Fabio. We're going to come to Ellister. You know, you spoke very eloquently about your community of jazz and that it started in this little trattoria and how it's grown. But we are talking about the World Jazz Network. How do we grow that community into a more global community? What are the ingredients to really grow a World Jazz Network?
Okay, when I was in Berkeley College of Music, I learned a sentence. First who, then what. Get the right people on the bus. We are the right people. We can do it because our common energy wants to create something that is not common in the jazz scenario. The jazz scenario actually is a market, if you know what I want to say. It's just sell and buy. We are trying to build, and we are actually doing it. We are building an international community that wants to cooperate, cultural exchanges, and in an equal partnership. I don't want to sell you something. I want to collaborate with you. I want to know about your culture, and you want to know about my culture. Jazz is the common language, but can be so different if it is played by Sicilians, by Dutch, by South African, by Thai people, isn't it?
I think it's very nice to see also, yesterday you played a concert.
Yep.
and you had a few guests,
Yeah.
and they came from all over the world. They came from Thailand, they came from
Brazil.
Poland, Brazil.
Yeah. Was
And
funny.
wasn't that just one big party to see that it sounds maybe different every part of the world, but it can also blend together and it can make the all parts together have a bigger
Yep.
Some?
You know, the professional musician have this common DNA because we are all of us, we have studied music.
Yes.
We are all professional. So we have this common DNA that even if we don't speak the same language, we can play together.
Yes.
Yesterday was so funny. I said to Lucas Santana, Lucas, come and play. What? Doesn't matter. Just listen. And he played. Because he's a great musician. He has studied enough to be in that place, to be able to play with us. Because of this common DNA. And friendship is very important. The common energy that we have is important.
It's
The
trust,
energy
right?
that brings us to do things together. If we just don't talk and do things, like this is really happening because you're hosting lots of concerts, isn't it, in your activities? I'm doing the same. Alexander with World Jazz Network and Nemes for World Jazz Network is doing the same. We're bringing these communities to go around the world and stay together. At the end of the concert yesterday, we've been looking, for a place to have a drink, some mineral water. we found one. It was a table with like 25 people. We had the guys from the Canary Islands, us from Sicily, a couple of Dutch, Lucas, the African guys, the South African guys, and some Thai. And at a certain moment, I don't know how it happened, the guys, we started talking about flamenco, the guys started clapping the flamenco rhythm that was meshed up with some Sicilian singing and some African singing and some people, some Chinese people, that started doing some strange kind of rap. It was a sort of, the whole world was sitting around that table. That's why I'm talking about good energy. Music brings you this good energy.
We missed out, Ellister.
We did.
Yeah, was a.
And I think what you're really talking about is the ability of artists to come together on stage.
Yeah.
Has to do with the level of trust. Has to be with the level of understanding each other.
Sure.
What you had together at
You're
that
perfectly
table.
right.
You build a family based on the relationships and the trust that you have. And what we really want to do with this World Jazz Network is to grow it from there. Because in the last couple of years since COVID, trust levels around the world has not been that great.
You're right.
Has it? And that's what we need to rebuild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just the music.
Andrea, what I've just told you is the tutto molto bello scenario.
Yeah.
Then we know, as professionals, we have to find fundings, money, because jazz itself doesn't sell enough to cover all the expenses. So what we need is to find, as much as we can, fundings for real cultural activities, real interchange activities. That's our main aim, to be able to say to young musicians above all, okay, the world is yours. We are doing something also for you. I mean, I'm 59 years old, almost, and I've received quite a lot. I've been working really hard in my life and still working hard, but it's time to give to the youth, to the young people, to give them opportunities.
You think there is a future for the young people?
Depends from us. It depends not only from them, it depends from us. We must give them signs. This is the road. Like they did in Amersfoort with Lucas, and they will do with Chi next year.
Is that future in music, or is that future in jazz? Because sometimes jazz can be exclusive.
Okay, we talk about our festival in Sicily, Sicilia Jazz Festival. It receives fundings from the regional minister of tourism. That is why we are here. We are still promoting next year edition, thanks to this office of tourism. And without the support of the regional community, the regional government, we wouldn't be able to do a programming like the one we do, with superstars, because that's the thing. You need to have big names if you want to have big numbers at the box office.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're good or not. You need real big names. If you want to sell 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 tickets for a jazz concert, or you have to do programming in the dimension of the jazz club. But to do that, you need at least a real good bar. Because the income of a bar is almost the 30% of the total income of the night.
Yes.
And some merchandise as well. But again, this is not enough. Jazz music, like classical music, if you want. The classical music scenario is the same. The opera, just think the opera. There is no opera that can sell enough tickets to pay the bill.
Impossible.
It's really totally impossible.
So it takes
Think
a
to
lot-
the Aida, the production of the Aida.
Yeah.
You need hundreds and hundreds of thousands euros. And even if you sell, a classical theater has 1,500, maybe 2,000 tickets, you will recoup 20%. That's the average. You recoup 20% of the cost.
But from all the people that I met
Yeah,
yesterday,
getting out of time.
we kind of out of time, but I think they will edit accordingly. So out of all the people I met yesterday, I realized that pulling a festival together and staying committed to this art form, it's not just about money. It's also a lot about passion.
That's for sure. Passion is our engine. Without passion, we won't go anywhere.
And I think that's our strong point, because also the reason that we choose for the path that we choose is that we really feel for it. And a lot of people don't want to commercialize in their music style, but that's also what makes them tick, and it's also what drives them to really play very well and go for it.
In one line, why should the best jazz artists and the audiences travel all the way to Sicily?
Oh,
One line, Fabio.
okay. The beauty of our architecture, our monuments, our food, our wine, and the opportunity also to go during the summer to great beaches and then me, of course.
To see you.
Of course, yeah, my friend, you have to come and see me. That's the
Thank you, Fabio.
waiting for you, you know.
We come and you
I'm
come into
waiting for you,
South
of course, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You as well.
Thank you very much.